when you can goof with people like that and they don't get mad about it.
Dude, I saw a guy. It was an Indian guy at a restaurant that Kirk was managing called the Fox and Hound, which I believe you were at. It's near Knight's Play.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd been there before.
Yeah.
So you might have actually accidentally met Kirk, but they're doing karaoke.
Yeah, I obviously recognize that fucking flame tattoo in the back of his legs.
This guy's doing karaoke. It's an Indian guy, Dot Not Feather, singing "Wanted Dead or Alive," and I never picked out the lyric "On a steel horse I ride." But it had like a 9/11 flair to it.
A steel horse would be a motorcycle, right?
Sure. Or a plane flying into a building.
All right.
Sure. It was just like, on a steel horse I ride. I'm like, oh, 9/11, bitch. God damn it, 9/11. Oh. You know that thing I sent you? It was the girl that used to be liberal until she saw those recent events.
No, Chris, I don't.
I didn't save it. It's in our text, but we text way too much for 2 minutes.
Dude, you're telling me that. I gotta. It's got to be deep if I got to go back to it.
To go back like 3 days is like 90 fucking scrolls.
Yeah, my fingers hurt.
Oh, found it. Nice.
Dude, whoever's in charge of our social media account lately is awesome. There's been a lot of really good posts.
Yeah, she's crushing it.
Yeah.
I know you're just fishing.
Come on, man.
You're great.
I told you this. I told you. I need somebody to pay me for this shit. I could totally up my game.
I get it for free. Why would I pay for it? You're part of the show. So this, and this is not political. You can be pro-American but anti-government, right? Like,
100%, right? And I think everybody should be.
Yeah.
We all know the government's a pile of shit, and we love our country, and our government needs to fucking stop acting like a bag of douches and represent us, who's paying you to fucking take care of our needs.
Like, even when
I believe that,
like
100%.
Even when your side is in, you still should be very leery of the government. You just should.
Yeah.
Right?
You just don't sit there and say, hey, my guy got in. Everything's cool. It's not. We all know every politician is shady as fuck.
They're
in it for themselves.
Everybody. Yeah. But I thought it was cool to see this because you could look at this lady and go, I know exactly how she voted most of her life.
Oh, no way. Is this the one you sent me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is just creepy to me. Like, to think that the first televised CNN thing, or Trump speech or whatever, rally, was going to be the Butler, Pennsylvania one.
The only one.
The only one.
So you sent me this.
Yes.
I watched it.
This made me more scared.
I saw this going some way, and it went a completely different way. I thought because of all the Trump rallies, none of them were televised. Nobody showed up for them except for Butler, PA. Does anybody know what happened then? Oh, that's right. Trump, let's just say it, allegedly got zinged by a fucking bullet in the ear.
Sure.
You believe it or not, or whatever, there was an assassination attempt that day, and that's the only one.
Yeah, so this guy, Rob Newman,
showed up for
Rob Newman on this post, Trump did 98 rallies.
Yeah.
In 2024, CNN only aired one. That's right, you guessed it, Butler, PA.
Yep. So when she starts this off,
I'm thinking it's going to be fucking hate speech. I hate Trump.
Nah, I thought this was going where that Rob Newman guy. This is where I thought it was going.
Okay. So we'll play this.
And I completely wrong.
Trumper, I have never voted for the guy. But I can tell you, the moment that I changed my mind about him.
1 to 10 lesbian. I'm going 9.5.
I was gonna say a solid 8.
I bet she golfs, and I bet you she played softball.
I bet you this is being videotaped.
And that was in Butler, Pennsylvania. And it wasn't just because of what happened there. It was because the day before, which was a Friday, the investment group that controls the assets for the Bushes and the Cheneys sold every single bit of their DJT, aka Truth Social, stock. They sold every single bit of it. And then the following Tuesday, they claimed, oops, that was a clerical error. We would like that back, please. Coincidentally, the only other time that this investment group has sold off all of a stock was in the first week of September of 2001, and it was American Airlines stock.
Now, that made me more scared about, because everyone's in on it. Now, sure, some people say it was staged or whatever. Nothing's come out about the guy that shot him. His house was scrubbed, and there was no silverware in the house.
Yeah, weird. Guy
He had multiple cell phones, and some of those cell phones were tracked to where members of the government meet. He was also in BlackRock videos,
which is also its own entity, and that is a rabbit hole.
Oh,
you're never going to find the bottom of that.
BlackRock and Vanguard own 99% of all corporations.
Yeah, and media outlets and everything. Yeah.
Like, what do you do when you're a kid and you're like, oh, what do you want to be when you grow up? I'm going to be a fireman. Every kid wants to be a veterinarian, which to me now, being an adult, probably the worst job of all time. Well, the worst job of all time was like cleaning up after like Puffy's party. Like that would
janitor.
The floor is slippery. Yeah. It smells like bleach, but it's semen. I'm not there. But and then one kid, hey, Billy Vanguard, what do you want to be? I'm gonna own the world. Like, what the fuck? Like, how do you even like come up with that idea to just go, we're gonna buy everything? And then if you look at like how the news, I'm starting to get hammered now. Yeah, I feel it. Yeah, let's get fucking drunk. My wife's out of town. I'm a single dad. My son's playing some car game. Love that
card
kid.
Or car?
Car.
Okay.
Yeah. The Turismo.
Oh, Gran Turismo?
Yeah, loves it.
I bought that game for my PS4 for my both my kids because they like driving games like Brady. Like when they got a hold of my PS3 and were playing Grand Theft Auto, Brady got in a cab, just drove around the whole map, picking people up, dropping them off. Then he was a bus driver. That's all he wanted to do. He stole a city bus and he was driving people around. Yeah. And then his literally goal, I got papers in the house, hung up in our fucking living room. What Brady wants to be when he grows up? Bus driver. Fucking bar's low for this motherfucker.
Get the pension, son.
Then yesterday, he tells me he wants to start his own YouTube channel. And I go, what are you going to do with it? He goes, I'm going to play video games. I'm going to play Roblox. I said, all right. So I look at Albo. I go, can we set this up where we have all the control where we log in? He shoots, he screen records him playing and talking, and we post it, and we can lock him out so he can't do it all the time.
Yeah, and we keep all the money.
She's like, we can. And I said, all right. I go, I might give him a shot at this. Fuck it. Dude, if he wants to do it and he gets 17 followers, he's going to be ecstatic.
Sure.
And then he tells me we were watching. I've been watching a show called The Rookie. It is awful. Awful acting. Awful portrayal of police work. I got sucked into it. We just started. She's watched it 2 times all the way through. She watched it. Started watching it from season 1, episode the pilot yesterday. so I could watch it. It's so fucking bad. It's not bad.
That
And
sucks when like
Brady says yesterday he wants to be a cop. He goes, I want to help people. I go,
bro.
all right. I go, I'll hook you up with cousin Dave.
Yeah. It sucks when you like one of your kids is watching a show. My kid Olivia's watching The Middle, which I guess was like no, it was like after Malcolm left.
I don't know, dude.
Props to like a white guy being named Malcolm, by the way. Word, we're taking that back.
Did he have a dream? No, that was what's that guy's name?
Martin Luther King.
Yeah, Martin.
Who said true peace is not merely the absence of tension, but the presence of justice. Malcolm X was like, kill the white man. Kill the white man. But no, it sucks when like one of your kids is watching a show and you're like, oh, you're watching this shit again, and then you're eating, and you're like, man, I wonder what happens next. You just sucked in.
I got sucked in.
You got sucked up, dude. There's
another thing I got sucked into.
Gay porn?
No, dude, no.
Oh, okay.
Is
about it.
My wife watches a lot of stupid reality shit, like the Real Housewives stuff. Kardashians. Every time I see that, I walk in, grab the remote, and shut that shit down. I used to watch a reality show out of Laguna Beach. I forgot what it's called.
Oh yeah.
Cool kids, they're all hot and
rich cunts. Yeah.
This spun off. The one girl, Kristen Cavallari, married Jay Cutler.
Yeah,
the Bears quarterback. He's retired. He gives zero fucks.
Oh, dude.
Relate to Jay Cutler. Kristen Cavallari is hot as fucking balls.
Yes.
Had a thing for her from the jump. So Chris has been watching that. So now I've been watching that. And it's like, I feel so guilty watching shit television. But I just like watching her talk to Jay. She's like, what are you going to do today? He's like, I'm going to fucking mow the lawn, scoop up some goat shit. I got a busy day today. And he doesn't tell her shit. He just dips out.
Yeah.
He's like, he's got chickens and a fucking goat that he hates. And it's great. Dude, he's in his 30s and he's retired and he has millions of dollars from
$1 billion.
And doesn't give a fuck. He's got a smoking hot wife.
Yeah.
And it's apparently something went south with that. Who gives a fuck? But I'm just like, I'm watching this shit because I'm so bored right now, dude. I'm so bored. I can only watch so many gambling videos a day. I'm like, I need something to watch. So,
did you watch that Men Who Built America?
I have not.
Okay.
I did find it. Yes, I did find it on what did you say?
Amazon?
History Channel?
Amazon, yeah, History.
It's it's on Amazon Prime. So I did find it and I hearted it or saved it or whatever.
You'll like it. You'll like it. Yeah. So weirdly enough, like the day after I tell you to watch it, I'm in a meeting. It's like 7:30 in the morning, maybe a little hungover. And I'm talking to one of my customers up in Virginia Beach. And he's like, I'm like, do you ever watch? So we were talking about profitability. And I said, I believe in the Tony Beats method. And he goes, what the fuck are you talking about? And I'm like, the Tony Beats method comes from a show called Gold Rush. Do you watch TV? He goes, I never watch TV. Like, I don't think I've turned my TV on and whatever, but I do watch YouTube videos and shit like that. He goes, the only thing I ever watch yearly is The Men Who Built America. And I was like, I just told my fucking friend to watch that because I watch that shit yearly as well. It just came up out of fucking nowhere and he brought it up. Nice. So, I mean, and he's a very wealthy, very smart individual. And don't take it from me, but other people that like shit like that. Did you see those Meghan Markle interviews?
So hot. No,
she's so hot. She's time's undefeated. But the lady that interviewed her, do you remember like dissecting pigs?
No.
That's what they look like.
She looked like the frog got caught up in 8th grade.
She looks like she has fetal alcohol syndrome. And
she looks like she takes the order at the Chinese restaurant.
What? So
10 minutes.
10 minutes. We were just talking about guy friend culture where you shoot the shit and you make fun of each other, and the mark of a good friend is how much you can insult them and how little they walk away from you, right?
Yeah. How little they care.
The mark of the way opposite side of the globe on this is conversations like this. It's pandering. It's bullshit. You're chewing into the goddamn microphone like you said you would. And I fucking love you so much that I hope you choke on your peanut M&Ms.
There's something here that says search sofa bed in the middle of the yellow word. The most uncomfortable? I'm guessing.
Oh, yeah. There's never.
Is that what it says? Uncomfortable conversation ever?
Yeah, the most uncomfortable conversation.
Okay, I was just guessing.
Because I think in friendship it's so important. And I think so many people also have this question for you is, Megan, how are you?
I hate this woman with the passion of a burning billion suns.
I hate her face.
I hate her face. I hate her shitty hair. I bet you she's wearing Spanx. I bet you her vagina stinks. I bet you everything.
She's got a hairy bush.
Oh, yeah, because you can't shave it because feminism,
who's
right?
Fucking that?
No, but she is. How?
But the fuck, there's somebody that finds her attractive, and guess what? I don't know. I'm not surprised, but god damn, she looks like every fucking picture of an Asian person I drew. 7th grade.
She looks
not even Asian.
She looks like every girl that comes up to the friend that you're trying to pull that goes, "No, you said if we go together, we leave together."
Yeah, the fridge always fucking protects the snacks.
She sucks. But the worst part about it is, and the guy's right, it's the worst conversation ever. You get the princess of whatever, Wales, right? Who is Meghan Markle.
All right, first off, she was a hot actress.
Yes.
Secondly, she married Prince Harry?
Yes.
She's a fucking princess. She's an absolute fucking rocket. And your first question is like,
how are you? How are you? I used to have a friend whose wife talked exactly like this, and I'm glad we're not friends anymore. Fuck you. He decants wine at fucking Bill's game.
And are you okay?
That's so kind. I am. I'm better.
Kind. Anytime you hear someone say kind.
Dude, great stop. Now you made her look like the interviewee. Meghan Markle looks like she's fucking Down syndrome right now.
We just proved that Meghan Markle can't be hot.
Yeah. Not gonna lie to you.
I have a caller.
I'd smash.
Oh yeah, I would too. Hi, Becky. You're live on the Two Dolts podcast.
What's up, buddies?
Hi.
What up?
Hey.
This is not this is not slanty eye, it's big tits.
Ugh, God damn it. They're not even big anymore.
Well,
they went away.
Is this your fucking sister?
Yeah.
Hey,
what's
how's it?
Sister?
What's up? Calling
What's
from
up?
Basement.
Basement? What the fuck?
I'm in a basement. He just offended me by proxy.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. Well, never mind. I'll just text you.
Okay. I love you.
Asshole. Why did you call that?
Do you have a topic?
No.
We're literally talking about the hottest girl on the planet right now, and you interrupted us. So get on with it.
Who's the hottest girl on the planet?
We were talking about Meghan Markle.
She's a fucking princess.
But have you seen
She's
the
a
interviews with
real-life
Meghan
Ariel.
Markle recently?
No.
Can
Dude,
you please
it's
not
ask
even attractive.
Chris? Can you please unpause and then pause so she doesn't look like this? I can't look.
Better
at
than
her.
okay.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much. Hang on.
You're welcome.
Oh
That
my.
is
All right,
not-
I'm hanging
definitely
up.
not
I
my
love you.
zipper.
I love you too. Bye.
Dude, sister sucks. What did she
Yeah,
do
she's
this
awesome.
for? Ah,
She's
I love
awesome.
Becky.
But yeah, so I just hate it, and I bet you that it was all vetted, obviously, because Meghan Markle's not going to go into this fucking interview without
Right.
like vetted shit, right?
Aren't most of these canned interviews? I mean,
I think the only person that gives a real interview are like when Trump goes on a podcast or when JD Vance goes on a podcast. I'm sure there's some things that they go, hey, we can't talk about Russia, whatever. We could talk about this about Russia and Ukraine. We can't talk about this.
Yeah.
We talk about this, but we
We
can't
can talk about actually can't talk about why.
Sure. But this pandering bullshit just drives me fucking crazy. And whenever somebody says kind, you know they are a fucking asshole. That is so kind. You could say nice.
Yeah.
Not kind. And then she goes,
Okay.
I'm better than okay.
How are you?
I know you always make it about me. Today, which by the way, I just have to say, you are the most generous.
How many times did this girl get molested by her uncle? I'm going to say over 4.5. 4.5 molestations. I bet she still has stuffed animals on her bed.
All right, I got a question.
Yep, go ahead.
How did this fucking slanty-eyed bitch get a fucking interview with Meghan Markle?
Because it's a softball. She talks like Chris Farley and Gap Girls. I hate this lady.
How could we not talk to people like this? You know how fucking great this would be? They're like, hey, listen. We get you Meghan Markle. All right, but you have to get us topics and questions ahead of time.
Sure.
And we're literally gonna fucking fire the worst shit in the world and let them filter out and whatever.
Have you ever squatted over a mirror and looked at your pussy?
Yeah.
Question number 1.
Yes.
What does your asshole taste like? Question number 2. Are you a cream pie girl, or do you want them to pull out and spray? Like, there's a lot of questions I have for you.
Yeah. I honestly do trust me, and it'd be the world's greatest thing ever, but I would have no questions for her. I would not know what to ask. Obviously, we're not asking the stupid ass shit you're saying, and we'd be
we would pussy out immediately.
Oh yeah, dude. But I'd still be like, I would ask questions about the only time I've ever seen her is Suits. I would ask questions about that show. Did you really want to fuck Mike? He's a good-looking dude. At that point, I think she was, when the show started, she was single, I think.
Sure.
Because the very first clip I ever saw Suits was her in a white button down and like a pencil skirt walking through, and Mike was talking to her. She's like, you hit on me. And he's like, I absolutely did not. She's like, you did. And we're just going to forget about that and move on. I'm just sitting there going, who the fuck is that?
Stupid hot in that.
And then she's a fucking princess.
And the way that really pulls it in for me with her in Suits is that she loves that guy. And there's no, dare I say, no offense to the people that served us food today, there's no chink in that armor. You know, she really loves Mike. And I do believe she's a great actress for a TV show. Would you put her in a movie? She was in one movie that I can think of. She was a UPS driver in Horrible Bosses. She had 2 lines. And do you know what I did when I saw that movie? I stopped it immediately and said, who's the fucking UPS driver in Horrible Bosses? And it said Meghan Markle. Then it said she was also in Suits. I'm like, guess I'm watching Suits.
Bro, I've been throwing my hand up 100 times.
Oh, sorry.
Since that comment, and you obviously were looking right at me. You couldn't see it.
No. I had
what a fucking callback.
Yeah.
About the fucking Asians.
Thank you, buddy.
That was so fucking good, dude.
No, I just hate that pandering fucking bullshit conversation.
Fucking the UPS driver and Horrible Bosses 1 or 2.
1.
Those movies were not terrible. I do not like Charlie Day. I don't like his voice. It's a little over the top.
Little Muppety.
And when the Dolts page posted the worst James Bond person, first thing I thought it was most of the cast of the It's Always Sunny. And I was like, gonna go Charlie Day. And then I'm like, Danny DeVito would be fucking hilarious. My cousin Steve fucking dropped the bomb. Roseanne. I laughed my fucking dick off.
Roseanne's making a comeback, which is awesome.
Yeah.
I put Mike Obama.
Yeah.
Solid.
Yeah. There was a lot of funny fucking picks today for that. And there we go. Our social media expert is pretty good.
Now, we're definitely not doing a podcast next week because it is America's birthday, 4th of July, right? I assume you're going camping?
I'm going camping Friday. So if you want to bang one out Thursday.
I'm probably going to the lake Thursday. We could do like Thursday afternoon.
I don't work. Kind of free. Anytime. Tuesday afternoon, you're like, yo, you got an hour? I'm like, yeah, bro. Yeah. You want to know the hardest thing about
Maybe
this?
me, you, and Hurt will do one.
You want to know the hardest thing about this right now? Is not drinking every day. At 11 o'clock in the morning, it's not pouring a glass of bourbon or grabbing a beer. It's the hardest thing right now.
Yeah, I would imagine most alcoholics would say that.
I'm not an alcoholic. Because
I think we're functioning alcoholics. No, I can walk by.
Boy.
I can walk past. I mean, going to my office, there's a fridge down here full to the tits with beer. And I go, yeah, I never even think about it. But I do have an open liquor shelf on the way out of the kitchen. And every time I just look at that bottle of bourbon, I don't care if it's 6:30 in the morning and I'm getting ready to go downstairs and start my day. I'll just be like, what's up? And Bourbon's like, hey, man, what are you doing later? I'm like, let me just get through these meetings. Maybe we'll hang out later. He's like, yeah, you know you're going to hang out.
I'm out of beer. I went to the liquor store last night. I bought 2 bottles of bourbon.
Attaboy. I'm so happy you're on
this. One in my decanter, which I ended up putting in my bedroom on top of my dresser.
See, I would not be able to do that because Bourbon would be like,
and then I have,
hey, you up?
I have, yeah.
Hey, babe, you
and
up?
I got this one, and it's like, all right. And even Chris is like, she's like, okay, so you're on this. She's kind of into it. She's like, all right, I want to get you to the point where you have numerous bottles of bourbon, so we don't have to run to the liquor store if you're out. You got an extra one laying around. You go, what do you like? Whatever. Cooler. So yeah, exactly.
Good.
And
for
it's
her.
like it's getting
Good
to this point where it's like, this shit's good. And she's like, what? It was so funny. Like last week we were out. I was at that the fucking Barrel House. No.
Yeah, with the margaritas. Yeah.
No, that's where I was drinking. Yeah, she was drinking margaritas. I was drinking bourbon. And she just sat there and looked at me. She goes, I never, ever saw this night coming where
you're cultured now.
You're drinking bourbon. And it's so funny because Aubrey and Chris are both like, that shit smells like gasoline. I'm like, guess what? I can't smell. I've been able to smell for fucking 40 years. Don't give a fuck right now.
Golden, babe.
I go, I can taste it. And I'll tell you one thing, when you pour it over the rocks, you swish it around, that first sip isn't quite cold. It fucking punches you in the mouth.
It does.
Like,
it does.
I'm like,
yeah.
And I found out that I like the darker bourbons because they come in all fucking air.
You ain't black. You ain't black.
I like my bourbons like, that kind of look like Ortez.
Ooh. Silly dark, like a pastel black.
Yeah. But like I asked you earlier, I'm like, all right, so I got my big fucking cube in here and I got an extra one because I like my shit cold. I do.
Yeah.
And that's why I said, you get down to, a whole bunch of sips left. And do you put another ice cube in? You're like, nope, you finish it. I've been doing it that way. It hasn't been the greatest, but you fucking ride that train.
Yeah, there's that. So I would encourage you to, even though we hate it warm, and I'm the same way, something like Elijah Creek or Craig. Fuck me.
Dude, I'm not being that drunk.
Something like Dawson's Creek. No, like Elijah Craig, Four Roses small batch. Sip it neat. Then just a little sip. Then pour it over the rocks. And it tastes completely different.
Yeah, I noticed that.
It's so crazy. I
don't want to sit here and wait for it.
Yeah, you can take a little eyedropper and taste it neat and pour 2 drops of water in it. And all of a sudden, it tastes completely different and it tastes fucking glorious.
Yeah.
Let alone the fact that it's now cold. I love nothing more than having a full glass of bourbon, watching some show I've watched 1,000 times, and I'll just put it on my eye and just sit there. And I'm in heaven. It doesn't take a lot to make me happy. I'm never happy.
Man, dude, that's the craziest thing. So like I've been sitting around at night every once in a while and I'll pour a glass or 2 of bourbon. I'll watch some shitty show on Netflix that I've seen numerous times or a shitty movie that I've seen before. And I'm having a bourbon. I'm like, I'm kind of mad that I missed out on this.
I've been trying to get you on the train.
I know you have, and I appreciate.
I'm the Rosa Parks.
But I mean, I've tried this shit before, and it's like same thing with wine. I like my wine cold.
Yeah, I know.
And when I went to the wineries and I asked the sommelier the one day, I'm like, hey, listen, man. I go, I like my wine chilled. I go, I know white wines are usually chilled. Red wines are room temp.
Usually room temp, yeah.
And I said, listen, I said, I don't know anything about red wines. I go, I like sweet wines. He goes, all right. He goes, I got you. So he came back and, you know, we tried a little flight of wine. And I said, hey, man, we were in a fucking mansion. This place was beautiful. And
You're on the Canadian side, right?
Yeah, we were up in Niagara on the Lake.
Yeah.
And I said, so if I put ice in my red wine to chill it, I go, is that doing anything? He goes, do you drink a lot of wine? I go, nope. I go, I'm learning. I enjoy wine.
Sure.
And whatever. He goes, you drink wine how you want to drink wine. He goes, he does this. He goes, fuck everybody else.
Sweet.
And I said, my dude. And he gave me some really good red wines that were amazing. And I bought them. And he goes, if you want them on ice, just drink them on ice. He goes, sure.
So
if you're out in public and you ask for a glass of wine and then, you know, you got your glass of water and you throw some ice in it, he goes, you're going to get some stares. He goes,
sure.
But literally, fuck those people. You're paid for it. This is the way you like it. He goes, just drink it the way you like it. I said, I appreciate that.
I think there's putting ice cubes into red wine is kind of like going to a nice steakhouse and ordering it well done. But if I could pick, and I'm not being judgmental, but but if I could pick, I like when red wine is sitting in like kind of like an open ice cooler. So it is chilled.
Oh, all right.
But you don't dilute it with the ice cubes.
Sure.
But then again,
I mean, dude, how much red wine did we fucking drink at Batista's when we were in Vegas? That was literally probably fucking piss warm.
I think 3 or 4 carafes
before our meal came. We're an absolute liability at that place.
That place is the best. I told you, man. Like, I was like, yeah, of course I'm going to go to Vegas with you, but we have to go to this spot. And you're like, I don't care. Like,
I was there already. I was there before that.
Oh, were you
in 2007 with Dino?
Oh, okay.
They had a fucking menu written in chalk on the wall. They're like all the mob pictures, like just pick a fucking thing off the wall. I'm like, give me that fucking chicken parm and keep the fucking wine coming.
I wanted to show you this.
In my mind, just however you like to drink your fucking liquor or wine or beer, just drink it.
Yeah, just do your thing.
I'm not judging. You're drinking. I don't give a fuck.
So we've had
don't give a fuck about me.
We've had a little debate for years that started at Batista's.
Oh boy, here we go.
I was going to ask you if you had that access to that video, but I didn't want to bring up how much your phone sucks now, so you probably don't have it. But
I'd have to search Facebook to come up with it.
Mm-hmm. So we go to Batista's, and for some fucking reason, we start talking about Alcatraz and sharks in Alcatraz.
This was the night before. We went there to get reservations for the next day.
Okay.
We were absolutely not sober. That's when we were in that the alleyway that led to the high roller.
Yeah.
We went to the Tilted Kilt. We got the pizza, and you try to knock it out of my hand. Again, because that's the fucking funniest thing ever. And we were drinking through that. We were fucking annihilated. And we're like, we need reservations for Jesus tomorrow. And we went around the corner and went in and got a beer at the bar, and we were talking.
And we were talking because the bartender was very cute.
She was super cute. We were annihilated. Everybody thought we were hilarious.
Yeah. Or they were really annoyed and we didn't care.
And we didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And somehow we started using salt shakers. And then they had that little like ladybug. They would wind up and it would go up. It was like the Roomba.
Oh, yeah.
It would go up and down the bar and clean up the crumbs. It was like the early stages of a Roomba.
So we're pouring salt to see if the ladybug will come and pick it up.
We're unscrewing the salt and pepper shakers, throwing it over the bar while we're drinking Miller Lights.
Yeah, do the ladybug thing.
Do the ladybug thing.
So we start talking about sharks in Alcatraz, and Daryl goes,
Why did Alcatraz get brought up?
maybe because
you're never gonna get this.
Maybe because it's a mob bar, and then we talked about the mob, then we talked about Al Capone. Al Capone died of syphilis in Alcatraz, and then maybe it went to there's only a couple people that escaped from Alcatraz. They had to swim through the bay, and I said they're sharks. That's what I'm thinking.
All right, let's just roll with that actually happened.
Okay.
Didn't happen that way, but
what is your recollection of this, my friend?
I just remember throwing salt and pepper on the bar, watching it stupid ladybug go back and forth while we were hammered, trying to get reservations for dinner for two relatively straight guys the next day.
So
in the waitress and bartenders, because we were in the corner where they would come and get the drinks and shit, and we were annihilated. And it was near closing, and they're like, these two dudes are fucked sideways.
We'll take a little bit more red wine though. So we start friendly arguing about it.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Because point counterpoint, when we're both absolutely stupid, no one's winning an argument because we're too dumb.
We're very convincing on both sides, though. That argument would have ended up in a hung jury. No doubt about it.
So all black guys. Got it. So this is exclusive video. This is 9 years ago. The first hunt by a great white shark ever recorded in the San Francisco Bay. 9 years ago.
Yeah, we were in Vegas.
13 years ago.
No, we weren't, dude. My son was 8. He's 8 now. He was just born. So 8 years ago. 8 years ago in this month.
Yeah.
This is basically 8 years ago.
So this is a year earlier. They're filming great white sharks in Alcatraz.
Allegedly.
I'm not seeing a great white shark, so it's not really living my point.
Look at that dolphin. That's a great dolphin shot.
Come on, you bitch. There's one. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah. Oh, dolphin.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's widely known that there are great white sharks in Alcatraz.
Chris and I had probably one of the most uninformative, most hilarious conversations about if there were sharks or not at Alcatraz. These fucking people that worked at Batissa's were doubled over because we were so adamant on both sides of what's happening. I honestly didn't think they were going to give us a reservation. Like, you guys gonna be like this tomorrow? I'm like, pretty sure we're going to be just as drunk. And we were, because we came from Dino's.
Yeah, we're going to be drunker.
Hard R.
Yes, so there have been numerous sightings of great white sharks in the San Francisco Bay, which is weird because it's very, very cold water.
They're not usually found there.
But Daddy's got to eat, you know? Daddy's got to eat. I asked ChatGPT.
Of course you did.
Specifically for the Two Dolts podcast, which is actually annotated in ChatGPT.
Dude, Air 1 is hovering right now. My house is starting to shake. They're low. Hang on. I got to check Facebook and check the scanner page.
All of a sudden, Trey shows up and because he got pulled over by a racist cop.
Turn my cameras on quick.
ChatGPT said we should talk about the drunkest. ChatGPT said we should talk about the drunkest states. Can you guess the number one drunkest state in America?
Arizona.
No, okay. I'm going to give you some guidelines.
You asked me a question, and all of a sudden you have fucking rules?
You're incorrect completely.
Well, I just figured because of ASU.
So the drunkest states in America. No, I said drunkest states in America. You got to think about like weather. So I'm going to give you one more chance. What is the drunkest state in America? And I'm going to throw a little sprinkle. Poppies. You got to think about it's cold as fuck.
Alaska.
Wisconsin. is often cited as the drunkest state in the U.S., with high rates of binge drinking and alcohol-related deaths. Noise. Other states frequently mentioned in this context include. I'm going to give you. Do you want to guess like number one or number two, number three?
All right, so we're looking number 2 drunkest state.
Yes.
After Wisconsin.
So one study found that 25.2% of Wisconsin adults drink excessively, significantly higher than the national average.
That's because you're in Wisconsin. There's probably not a fuck all to do there.
And if you look at Wisconsin Betty's,
so you also lean towards like, hey, like California and New York because of the amount of people, Texas, whatever. But then I've heard some shit about like Alaska. That's why I said Alaska.
Yeah, but Inuits are typically Asian. Asians can't drink for shit. 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
I said Arizona just because of ASU being the number one
geographically. You couldn't be further away.
Yeah, number one party school in America. So
sure,
you're saying that geographically I couldn't be further away. So I'm talking now. We're going northeast.
Mm-hmm.
So
or northwest.
Hang on, Wayne, Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire.
Wayne,
yeah. You know what's starting to kick in. Here we go.
Party on, Wayne.
Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire. It ain't New York.
No.
Connecticut.
I think you're thinking. So
Rhode
you think
Island.
Northeast. Rhode Island, I would throw a little. Yeah, because you have Navy bases there.
Mm-hmm.
You got all that shit, right? The second most drunken state in America is North Dakota.
All right. So when I said Arizona and you said I couldn't be geographically farther, bro, Arizona to North Dakota is a short hop compared to that to fucking Maine, you asshole.
Okay, you're acting
Read
like
a map.
I have a globe in front of me. Okay, got it.
Earth is flat. Come on, man.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's just this many. It's too many to New York. My bad. But it's this
North
many.
Dakota, is that due to the Indian reservations?
Research consistently North Dakota frequently appears in lists of states with high alcohol consumption, particularly. Here's the thing with binge drinking. Are you going to go out and have one fucking beer?
No.
I
could go out and have 3 or 4 and leave.
But you still got the itch after that, right?
I don't want to. I want to have 10 or 15.
10 minimum, which was our first podcast
name. And it was taken by somebody else. Oh, hang on. I got it.
And are they number 34 in Egypt? They are not.
Somebody's on my camera. Hang on.
Iowa and South Dakota are second and third. These states have high rates of excessive drinking and alcohol-related deaths, contributing to their ranking amongst the drunkest states. But, okay, so let's look up what binge drinking actually
And that's why I said that about, because I used to watch that reality TV show, the Alaskan State Troopers, and they hinted at the amount of Eskimos and Inuits and Indians and shit that lived up there and how much they drank because there was nothing to do. And there's like, it's dark for 40 days and all that weird shit. But doesn't that pretty much tell you at some point that the Earth's not flat?
Oh, dude, check.
Doesn't that literally just tell you that it's not?
Obviously. I hope you fucking die with your peanut M&Ms, you bitch.
I hope I fucking
so this is from
peanut allergy.
This is from NIAAA.nih.gov.
And I say that again.
NIAAA.
National Institute of Alcoholics Anonymous homepage.
National Institute on Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism.
Oh shit! I thought there was an.
You were close. You were really close.
All right, good. There you go.
Binge drinking is 4+ drinks for women, 5+ drinks for men. Now, I'm 226 pounds. Oh, in about 2 hours.
4 drinks in 2 hours.
Yeah, I don't do that.
I do. That's one thing I talked to you about this. I get a 3 or 4 ounce pour of bourbon.
Sure. Okay. So that's considered 2, right?
Yeah, sure. That slows me down. And I told you this.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I'm being brutally honest. I go, if I pour one of these, it takes me about an hour and 15 to drink the entire thing. In that time, I could easily have 4 to 5 beers.
But remember that day that we tried to do 2 beers an hour for 12 hours?
3
beers an hour?
We were at Vinny's.
We lasted
2 hours. We quit.
Yeah. We called it in. But okay, so let's say so this happened to me yesterday. Go out, hanging out a little bit, and first beer goes down like fucking water. Okay. Then the bartender goes, let's have a shot. She was having a bad day. I'm like, cool. So she lines up shots, do the shots. Another beer comes, drink that. So now I'm at 3. Drink that. So I would say I binge drank for the first hour yesterday. I had probably 5 drinks, if not a little bit more. Then, allegedly, went to another bar, only had 1 beer. So now I'm not binge drinking.
No.
Then I texted the bartender of the original bartender, or fuck me in the dick. Original one I was at, and I said, we are on our way back. Do not close the bar. So we go back to that bar, and we were drinking normally. Sip, talk, whatever. Maybe 15, 20 minutes a drink, right?
That's about average for us.
Yeah, I would say.
I mean,
now, if you said
when you and I go out drinking, it's never a fucking race.
No, it's a marathon.
It is. And it's like, all right, so one of us finishes a drink early, and we look at the other guy and like, do you need another beer? And you're like, and I could see it. I'm like, you're about a third left. Then I'm like, all right, you're good. By the time I go up and order the beer and pay for it and come back,
that beer's gone.
It's probably gone. Here's your new beer.
Yeah.
At no point when you and I go drinking are we ever. I don't give a fuck if you went up 2 or 3 beers ahead of me. You get a beer, and I'm ready. Get me a beer. You're 2 ahead. I'm like, I don't have to drink 3 beers to catch up to him. We don't do that.
The worst is playing catch up when your friends are already bombed, because you sprint way past them, and there's no way around it.
I don't play that game.
Yeah,
and that's the hardest thing about drinking with Big Hurt.
Yeah,
he tries that shit. I don't want to keep up with your pace. Your pace is your pace.
Yeah,
that's great.
But
I'm
also,
drinking with you. I am not sitting here drinking to keep up with you. I'm drinking because I want to be drinking with my friends. You lap me, you want to sit there and call me a bitch. You got to keep up whatever. You do that because guess what? It ain't hurting my feelings.
Yeah,
I'm going to take my time with that drink, and when I'm ready, I'll get another one.
Well,
it's one thing I love about drinking with you is there's zero pressure to catch up, keep up, or flex on the other guy.
No,
I'm not that guy. You ready for a beer? Fuck, dude, I'm kind of drunk. I got half beer left. No, I'm good right now. I'm like, all right, I'm going to grab one.
Yeah.
I'm like, let me know when you're ready. And then I get halfway through my beer. You finish yours. You're like, dude, I could go for beer. I got you now. I'll get your beer now. I'm not pushing you, man.
Yeah.
Because what is the point of that? When you and I get that fucking drunk, pushing each other it's no good for anybody.
It only leads to really bad decisions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's the best thing in that in our no shot pact.
I will say that I love nothing more than I forgot what it was. It was, I think, during the summer, and we were leaving the next day, and Olivia wanted to go see Avery. So we go up to Hert's house, and we're in the garage, and we're watching something like fucking some Tom Cruise movie or some shit. Every time my beer got down to half, it was magically filled back up.
He did that. Remember Kegs and Eggs?
Yeah.
You take 3 sips out of your fucking beer and standing there talking.
It's back to full.
Bro, this isn't how this goes, man. This isn't a competition.
So I immediately went into my pocket, gave Tanya the keys. And I was like, I'm not getting out of here not stumbling. So, and we rented a hotel like literally 4 miles away from their house. That's the one that was available. That one Holiday Inn where you kind of have to go down that weird ass drive in Hamburg. So literally it's 3 turns away. But dude, Tanya's talking to his wife. They're doing whatever chicks do. And we're watching this movie. And I swear to God, I wish. Every time I took a sip, it was a brand new sip of beer. I'm like, bro, you're going to kill me. And we were drinking fucking Kona, which is like 4.9 or something like that, or maybe in the 5s. It's not aggressive, but
the last few times I've been over there, it's been literally we've stalled each other out, and I'm like, dude, we're not mid-30s anymore. I'm 50. You motherfuckers are pushing 50. We're not doing this. It's never been a contest. We've all talked about how much we can drink. Here's the best thing. You and I can drink dawn till dusk.
Yeah.
At a steady pace.
Yep.
There doesn't need to be 4 or 5 beers an hour for the first 5 or 6 hours. And
no, the second you try to prove something to somebody,
you're fuck that shit. So last few times I've been over at Hertz house, I mean, he's got a reputation. You said it. We talked about it at Keg and Egg, and Chris is like, "Don't." I'm like, we sat there and drinking, and I'm like, I stalled drinking my beer, and he's taking a couple extra sips, and I was like, all right, I stalled mine out, and then he's like, "You ready for another one?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And I'm like, dude, Brady is running around the fucking neighborhood the one time I was over there.
Yeah.
I dropped off of him.
They have a great fucking neighborhood.
Literally across the street in a cul-de-sac on somebody else's basketball hoop, just shooting hoops.
Yeah.
Sweaty, can't fucking breathe. And I'm over at Hertz house. He's like, you know where your son? Nope. Don't give a fuck where he is.
Yeah.
Don't care. He might get abducted. Yeah. Don't care. But he was over there shooting hoops, playing with other people's dogs.
Yeah.
And
their neighborhood's great. If I could pick one neighborhood to move into, it'd be his.
Like gentlemen that day. And I'm like, have we matured to that point where we're not got to do that? I mean, even that day, the 3 of us went to the casino up in Niagara Falls, and we bar hopped down Niagara Falls Boulevard.
That was super
and
fun.
You think Niagara Falls Boulevard, as long as it is, has a billion bars?
Does not.
They got 4. We all, do you want a beer? Yes. And then that one, you guys were big. That was the MMA night. We got to drink fucking Conor McGregor. That proper 12 shit. Absolute fucking kerosene. That shit blows.
That shit sucks. Yeah.
We all said it sucked.
Yeah.
But I think he's progressed a little with filling your glass up all the time. I mean, he had every chance to do that to me while I've been over to his house, and he hasn't. We both finished our beers. We're bullshitting, watching college football or whatever. He's like, ready for another one? Yeah, dude, I'll have another one.
Well, in the past, like I'd be out. You get to that point where you get to the spirit world, and you're like, obviously, people are marveling at my drinking ability. Yeah. Everyone's watching how fast I fucking drink a beer.
I can't drink beer fast.
Women are just looking at me, wetting their pants because I slam a beer.
Just fucking
nobody cares. Nobody gives a shit. Around here, the shop pact might go out the window a little bit because the bartenders will just be like, I'm bored. I'm only going to work drunk. We're going to do a shot. Yeah.
Shop pact is you and me out together. If we're out with your friends or we're here with my friends, it's funny because we both kind of look at each other and we're like, all right, we'll do a shot. We got to do it. I got to do it with you, and you got to do it with you, and they got to be at different times. We stagger that shit.
Yeah.
Because we know neither one of us has a handy gun handy and we can't kill each other right away.
So I met my buddy Zach out today for lunch just because I had to drop my car off. I didn't know that diesel engines needed a new fuel filter like every 32,000 miles, you know?
Yeah.
So I start getting this alert like your fuel filter's at like 1% or whatever. So I go drop my truck off and Max and I walk over to Chili's. And I was hanging out with Zach last night too. And I just missed Ortez by about 4 minutes. And Zach, the first thing Zach said, he goes, and Zach, he can drink.
Really? Couldn't tell last time he was on the podcast. Well, he wasn't really on the podcast.
He can
peanut gallery.
He can throw him back. But what he always says about me, he's like, dude, you are always like no one can drink like me, like you. You know, like and so he goes, last night I outlasted you. I'm like, no, I just left. I had more in the tank. I just left. It was fucking like 11:30. I was trying to get up at 5 a.m. to see Tanya off because she's gone for the weekend, and set my phone alarm. I'm like, I'm gonna go upstairs, say goodbye, be a nice husband. I fucking snoozed that shit. So I texted her like 6:30 when I woke up.
Good luck, bitch.
And I was like, oh, I swear to God, I set my alarm. And she goes, no, I came down to give you a kiss. But I'm like, I don't remember. She says, oh, you were not good. But I had more in the tank. I wanted to hang out. But it was like, as more people started to leave, the conversation got smaller. And then you're saying the same shit over and over again. I was like, all right. Like, I gotta go, you know. But yeah, no, I've grown out of that. I can drink this much thing. Now,
here's one thing I know. I can't tell you how many beers I can drink in a day. I can tell you that I can start at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Oh yeah.
And steadily drink all day. And I'm talking, I'm not doing shots. I'm not doing any crazy shit. I'm drinking Busch Light, Coors Light, whatever. I'm drinking beers all day steadily.
Yeah.
And I will be able to hang out with you until 1 or 2 in the morning.
Of course.
And people are like, what the fuck? And your liver, this, and everything. I'm like, I'm not draining 4 beers an hour through there. I mean, as the day progresses, it's going to be 1, maybe 2 beers an hour.
Yeah.
And then later, it's just like, just putting beer in my hand.
Dude, the
and
worst.
Let me just chill. I'm like, I'm not doing shots. I will do a shot with a friend. I've fallen into that trap, and I'll bang one out here and there. And I know it's not the best thing for me, but I'm like, I can drink beer till sun up till sundown without a problem.
The worst is
at my pace.
Everyone else is crashing out, and you're still like kind of fine.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably the best situation and the worst situation to be in.
What about like, all right, so say just Saturday, you're no kids, you're getting ready, like just say where you're at. You're getting ready, you're gonna go out on the lake or on a boat or to a fucking backyard party. Kids are gone the night before. You wake up 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning, you're like fucking smash a beer. You're getting ready, you're all amped up to go to this party.
Yep.
You have another beer, whatever. You drive to the party, you get there,
Allegedly.
and you just, at that point, you're not drunk. I'm not going to lie. I mean, you have 2 or 3 beers. We aren't drunk.
No.
So you go 3 miles over to your buddy's house, drop off your truck, and you're drinking. And then you're drinking more, and you're just drinking beers. Just stick to the plan.
Mm-hmm.
We all know what happens when you start going beers, a couple shots of Crown. Next thing you know, you're drinking bourbon. All that shit starts getting mixed. That fucking zoots you up.
Yeah, so
even drinking fucking beers. And then the party girl shows up at 1 p.m.
Sure.
You're already 10 beers deep, chilling, having a good time.
4
or 5 fucking beers. Bitch can't even stand.
Yep.
That ain't us, dude.
No.
How many times have I watched these videos? And I talked to Chris about this. And I go, I have never, ever, in as drunk as I've been in public, ever had I have a friend fucking carry me out of a bar because I'm too drunk. I've been able to walk. Granted, it may not be a straight line. It might waver a little bit.
As close as I have ever seen you. Yeah.
But yeah,
but that was shots.
The night of my birthday, I got fucking retarded with the stoplights and whatever. But I mean, dude, how drunk were we in Vegas? Sure. Outside of Carlos and Charlie's at the Flamingo, I sat down in a slot machine just to kind of chill for a minute and fell asleep. Dude, come on. Is that the worst thing that ever happened? But I got up and I was like, I'm not a problem.
You were so funny because the bartender was so nice. And she goes, I'm playing fucking poker.
Sure you were. I have no idea.
I'm not even paying attention to you. And she comes over to me. She goes, you need to kick your buddy because he is full out of sleep.
Before security gets to him, go over there and dude, you fucking Pele'd my ass.
You were sitting there like a perfectly perched bird, just asleep. And I was like, "Hey man, are you good?" You're like, "I'm good. I'm
that
good."
That was legit the first time I ever had Busch Light because I remember.
Yeah.
That was the night. That was the same night we were down in that alley with all the fucking drinks and shit. And we walked back through the Flamingo. And we stumbled into Carlos and Charlie's. What the fuck's this? They're playing dance music and shit. We're like, all right, cool. You walk in and the whole bar was 2-for-1 Busch Lights.
Yeah.
For like $3.
Yeah.
And they came in a fucking.
They were like 16
tub.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, they were like 16s. Yeah, they were good.
Holy fuck. And that was the first time we had Busch Light. I'm like, this is what we needed. A light beer, ice cold, cheap as fuck. And I fall asleep at a slot machine.
Me and you are like playing engines, though. Sometimes the right engine goes out and the left has to carry it.
Yeah.
But I was like, hey man, you need to wake the fuck up. You're like, I'm good. I'm good. And I start seeing the heavy.
I start pushing the button on the machine. You're like, you have no money in there.
I'm like, you gotta wake up, dude. So then but honestly, and this is true with both of us, we know what the other guy needs. We've been best friends for like what 20 something years. I'm like, let's just walk around a little bit.
You need water, you need food, you need a 5 hour, you need to fucking do a fucking line. We know.
So we walk around a little bit, and then fucking he comes right back. He's like, what are we doing? I'm like, well, fuck, dude. I was on the way down. You're already fucking dead to the world.
I'm in the basement.
And now you're up here. I can't do this. So that day you far outpaced me. I left you at Fremont. I'm like, I'm going back to the hotel. Like one of those days.
Fremont. We went to Evil Pizza.
Yeah.
And we got 2 slices and a PBR. We got that Uber back door when we were staying at the Strat. We got the Uber back. And I was so afraid to eat my pizza. The guy's like, bro, he goes, you can eat it. Don't make a mess. I'm like, I'm drunk. I had my 2 pieces of pizza in my plates, and I had 2 more plates over the top. I'm just holding it. I go, I don't want to fuck up your car, dude. I have a 5-star rating.
My friend
Uber.
Chris is going to kick this plate out of my hand the second I take both hands.
Also, when I get out of this car, my asshole friend is going to fucking
ninja
Ralph
kick it.
Macchio the shit right out of my fucking hand, and I'm going to be mad.
Dude,
eat it. Don't make a mess. I'm like, I got a 5-star rating.
Dude,
your pizza in your car.
Dude, when your friend is starving and he gets this glorious Ninja Turtle like pizza with stretchy cheese and you fucking kick it out of his hand.
God, that pizza was so good for the 2 bites I had.
There's nothing better. And I'm sorry, and I love you.
You're not sorry. You never have been sorry.
But if you see it from my point of view, it's
funny that I'm so fucking sad. even when that same night when we were down by the Tilted Kilt and whatever, and they had
I kind of don't giant.
Remember. They had we didn't even have a beer there. We were in that. There was the same alley that we had the beer blast in.
Mm-hmm.
all the little bars and shit.
Oh yeah, okay, I remember. Yeah,
And the tilted kilt is kind of like a classy Hooters, I guess.
sure.
Girls wear short plaid skirts and white dress shirts. All of them are hot. We're in Vegas.
Yeah,
And we were just outside. We went in. We might have got a beer there. I don't even know if we did. We walked right back out.
Yeah.
And then some bar place, fucking pizza cart.
No, I think it was packed and we couldn't get a beer there fast enough.
Could have been. And then there was a place that offered this giant slice of pizza and a fucking beer for like $4. Like, yeah.
Perfect.
And I literally fucking guarded that slice of pizza with my life. He would have had to break my forearm with his foot.
I'm warming up my hips.
Yeah. I'm like, why are you stretching?
Like, dude, it's no big deal. Just
fucking Kobayashi that fucking pizza.
Dude, Baltimore was the best because we waited in line for like 40 fucking minutes.
After we got kicked out of the bar. I didn't know where we were. I was so hammered.
The second we got in line, I'm like, I'm so fucking hungry. And then the second you were ahead of me, you got your pizza. I'm like, I'm going to kick that out.
Look how happy he is with that pizza. I'm going to make him sad. You fucking Justin Tucker that fucking pizza right on my fucking
and you immediately go, oh, and your pizza falls completely upside down in the grass, and you start to.
I thought I was gonna blow the dirt off of it. It had fucking grass. It had fucking stones in it. That's why I fucking shipped a tooth that weekend. Fuck you, I'm eating this.
That is so funny. In my eyes, it's hilarious.
So that Baltimore thing happened years before we ended up in Vegas together unsupervised. The worst thing anybody could ever ask for was you and I in fucking Vegas for literally 6 days.
Yeah. It was so
unsupervised.
And we were good.
We were fucking amazing. We
like,
had
when it comes to like what we could get into versus what we did get into.
Yeah.
We were great.
Yeah.
That was hands down one of my favorite trips of all time.
Yeah. So much fucking fun.
Yeah.
And just good times. We made friends fucking everywhere. That night at the Rio, when we were on the fucking rooftop bar and we ran into that wedding.
Yeah.
Going down and I'm still friends. That guy does not live far from you.
No.
Cape Girardeau.
He's
right
40 minutes away.
Yeah. He's like a big English DJ back in the day. This and other thing. He's fucking playing music for me. And we went in the elevator, left his suite, left Chris and all these random Argentinian people in the suite. Him and I went down to the fucking bottom of the Rio to the liquor store or gift shop or whatever. We bought like, I don't know, $2,000 or $3,000 worth of fucking booze and cigars.
Cristal.
Yeah, they had to bring a fucking cart into the fucking elevator. We went up to his suite, which was like half of a floor, and partied our dicks off.
Like floor to ceiling windows.
Yeah.
With a balcony on Rio. And when you came back, I was smoking weed with an Argentinian grandma on their couch.
She wasn't a grandma. She was the mother of the bride.
No, the grandma was there too.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
So I quoted this. So Kirk had a best man, but the best man didn't want to speak. So I actually quoted that in Kirk's like speech for his wedding.
Oh, nice.
And the loose parameters of it, because I can't remember what I said, but I got heckled during the speech by some guys. Like, well, I'm like, okay, page 2, you got to set it up with shit. Page 2 is going to be emotional, you know? But the whole thing was, we're up there, been drinking for hours. I'm smoking weed with a grandmother.
Days.
Yeah.
They had those one hitters.
Yes. Yeah. So I'm smoking weed on the couch with this Argentinian grandma, of which they just happened to come up to me because I was wearing the same color suit.
He's like, oh, dude, you look like fucking gayest Aladdin ever. And these just popped into my Facebook memories because it was right here at the end of June that we were out there.
Yeah.
It was the dumbest, hottest fucking weather ever.
Stupid hot. But I remember like sitting there thinking like, it's all about the connections you make.
Yeah.
Random weird connections that can like, and so that's what I wanted to paint for Kirk's wedding. Like, I met Kirk when he was a manager at fucking Fox and Hound. And then I wanted to, like, Tim and I wanted to make this thing called I Swear Productions, where we put on music shows.
Yeah.
And that was in the MySpace days. And Kirk made this logo. And it just blew my mind that someone was that talented to make a logo like that.
Yeah.
And then Kirk made a website. And it was on the internet. And it fucking blew my mind. And then the second I wanted to start a internet company, Kirk was a manager at some other place. And I was like, dude, no, you're not doing that anymore. You're going to do this. And I swear to God, and again, I did nothing. Kirk did everything. But every 3 or 4 months, I'll get this beautiful text from Kirk. I can't believe the life I have because of you. I didn't do shit. I just told him.
Kind of sad we're not Facebook friends because he got religious or something.
Well, you're unlikable, but he's genuinely one of the sweetest guys of all time.
He's a super nice guy. That's why I was like, this sucks.
Yeah, I love him to death. And I talk to him a lot, like multiple times a week.
You tell me that too. You know, like, even though you guys don't work together, if you have an issue or you bump your head against the wall, you're like, I go right to Kirk.
Yes.
Every time. He's the guy I go to all the time.
And do you know why I do that? Because this guy shouldn't have been like, I always look at the Steve Jobs and Wozniak setup.
Mm-hmm.
Wozniak could do anything or he would fuck it up so much that he'd figure it out. Steve Jobs was saying, no, it's going to be perfect. I was the Steve Jobs. Kirk was the Wozniak. And there were jobs that we had no business getting, but I would sell it and I knew he could do it. And he became this fucking amazing. He did everything that he needed to do to be the best person that I needed him to be. Yeah. And now we don't work together anymore, which is fucking criminal. But
it's so cool that you say anytime you run into a jam, he's your first phone call.
Yes. Yeah.
You're like, Kirk's got to bail me out. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. I'm bumping my head against the wall. I'm like, I'm going to call Kirk. And he's like, dude, 5 minutes later, he fucking walked me right out the door.
Yeah.
I'm like, there you go.
Well, the true spirit of entrepreneurialism.
What?
Entrepreneurialism?
I'm sure Lizzo's a fat bitch. Well, I heard.
Entrepreneurialism. Nice.
Yeah, entrepreneurialism is a fat bitch.
Is you're not great when you start, but you fuck up so many times that you know how to be great.
Yeah.
You know? And I think Kirk gives me way too much credit for being an entrepreneur or to be a guy that could start a company like this or whatever I do. But
I blow a lot of smoke.
You need the fucking people.
I just hate talking to people and telling them that you're really good at what you do.
Yeah.
It hurts me because you're such a cunt. But you are so fucking good at what you do. I can't help but blow you about that. And I do it all the time, dude.
Thank you, buddy. But you need people like that have been with you. And like, I could send a website to Kirk. I'm like, I want to do this, and this. How do I do it? And he'll, in 5 seconds, he'll be like, all right, do this. Done. And but it's because he took the time to fucking learn all that shit.
Yeah,
like,
good for him, man. He's good at it.
But this is how stupid he is. He gives me the credit. I'm like, no, motherfucker. Like, you did all of it. You're like, maybe I made you that because I'm such a dickhead, but you did it. So, but anyways, that speech I gave was all about like the relationships you make along the way. And at the time, Tim was there. Tim and I weren't talking. Owen, I believe, was there. Owen and I really weren't talking. But I mean, I moved down to North Carolina, met Kirk through them. And now all of a sudden I'm speaking at Kirk's wedding.
Yeah.
And I linked it back to that time with the Argentinians at the Rio. And to me, it was a great speech.
Guys like,
my best speech ever was for Haz, I think.
I mean, the only reason we even made contact with that dude was because we were all up there drinking. You remember I got dragged into that VIP booth with that black dude and that older white lady?
Mm-hmm.
And we thought there was like he might have been a rapper or whatever. And I'm like, I'm over there, I'm drinking high-end booze. And then one guy goes, you got to leave. I'm like, why? What's up? He's like, you just got to go. I'm like, all right, man, I was invited here. No harm. Have a great night.
Yeah.
Thank you. I was polite and I bounced. And then the dude that we met was drinking that gigantic fishbowl with 74 straws, and he was by himself.
Yeah.
And then there was a Argentinian couple that just got married. And I mean, their wedding party was what, probably 8 people?
Yeah, so some girl came up to me at the bar.
And you legit had
I had their wedding colors on.
You legit had your stupid fucking Aladdin vest on, and it looked like you belonged in her wedding. You were close. It was close.
So she came. Her name was Laura, or Lauda, and she came up to me. She goes, "Were you in the wedding?" I'm like, "No." What wedding?
Yeah.
Well, you're making friends with this guy over here with the fishbowl shit, and you're like,
because I was enamored with how big that fucking drink was.
Yeah, and
like,
then you're like, all right, we're gonna go to his suite. And I'm like, do you guys want to go to the suite?
He got to talking to the married
married couple, yeah.
And he was just making talk. He says, "Hey, so
making talk."
Making small talk. The animal's starting to land, motherfucker. It's starting to land. And he's like, all right, so you guys got married out here. He goes, where's your reception? And I'm like, well, this is it. We're just hanging out here. He goes, you can't go like this. He goes, I have a huge suite, like 4 floors down, takes up half the fucking building.
Yeah, bigger than the bar that we were kind of at, really.
And he's like, yeah, pretty much. And he's like, you guys want to go? We're all like, I guess, man, if I'm going out, man, this is going to be the story that people are going to tell about my life. I'm in.
Yeah.
And I look at you and you're like, so we round up the fucking wedding and we go down literally 3 floors. We're on 72nd fucking floor. We're at the top of the Rio at the bar up there looking over Vegas. And it's like, all right, so we go down a couple floors. Walk in, the elevator opens up, and she's like, it's like
1960s mod. It was a cool fucking setup.
It was the coolest fucking suite.
Yeah.
And it was just room everywhere. And there's a couple bottles of like vodka on his table. And he goes, looking around, and I mean, there was like 8 people in the wedding. There's you, me, a couple of stragglers.
Parents.
Yeah, we probably had 15, 20 people.
Sure.
And he goes, fuck, I don't have enough booze. He's looking around and he goes, all right. He started playing music through the fucking ceiling speakers.
Yeah.
And that's when he said he used to be a fucking European DJ. He's just playing like dance music and cool music. Great vibe. He's like, all right, I need somebody to go down to the liquor store and help bring the liquor back up. Everybody's looking around like, fuck, dude, I'll go. Because I was standing right next to him. We got in the elevator. We shot the shit. Fucking 74th down. Yeah, the elevator, walk across the hall. Walk right into that little store. And he's like, fuck. He goes, we need shit. We need fucking vodka. We need rum. We need tequila. We need this. And we're just grabbing shit and we're putting it in a cart. And then he goes, they got married, right? He goes, champagne. You got to have champagne. Bang, 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 bang. All these $900 bottles of champagne.
Yeah.
And he goes, we got to smoke cigars. He goes, you smoke cigars? I'm like, fuck yeah, I smoke cigars. Went right over the cigar thing. He's fucking picking all these cigars. And we walk up to the fucking counter and this huge cart full of booze. And the guy's like, it's like $8,000. All you hear is fucking like Alan for it. Unzips his fucking fanny pack, brings out a 10K strap, throws it down. The counter hand him his change. And they're like, y'all got a party going on? And he's like, yeah. He goes, somebody got married. The fucking bar was closing. We're throwing a party in my suite reception for him. They're like, that's fucking sick.
Yeah.
So the guy boxes up all the shit, puts it on our cart. He's like, I'll come up with you and help you get this in. We couldn't carry it all.
Yeah, you guys came out
The
with
fucking elevator
dual layer
open.
cart.
Elevator open to this dude's room, and I just see you. You got the one hand in your mouth. You turn around, look at me, and it almost fell out of your hand. You're like, I'm like, we partied with these motherfuckers. I remember talking to the mother of the bride.
Yeah.
She was showing me pictures of her house in Argentina.
Beautiful.
She showed me a video. It is a 4-minute walk out her front door, down the street, right
It's
to the
heaven.
most beautiful beach. She's like, I'm like, how the fuck great is this? And we were talking, and I was talking to the DJ guy, and we're drinking, we're smoking cigars. We watched your flight leave.
We sure did.
Literally sat there going, that plane right there is the one you're supposed to be on. You're like, fuck. It's 7:30 a.m.
Yeah.
Party's raging. You look like fucking retarded Aladdin. I had a nice shirt on. It was untucked. I'm disheveled.
For
We're
sure.
both shot.
Yeah.
We're walking through the lobby of the Rio to go to the right.
Hold on. Let me stop you right here. This is my favorite memory of you and me. We get out of the elevator, and you got to come down a couple stairs, and then it's like all slots and shit like that. We're both smoking cigars at the time, or maybe I was. I don't know if you had.
We were both smoking cigars. Fat, Cuban, very expensive cigars.
I have a
It's
bottle of
7:38.
champagne in my hand.
As did I. Yours was open, though. Mine was not. I brought mine home.
We both go down the stairs, and you think stairs are going to be friendly at that moment. They were not. I stumble and fall and bang into a fucking slot machine. And people are walking in with their bags ready for their new vacation. The sun's out.
We literally were walking in this lobby like it was the Hangover movie. And people had towels over their shoulder racing to the pool to get
They're
their
going
spot.
to the pool.
We are fucking a cigar hanging out of our mouth, disheveled as fuck. 2 bottles of fucking very expensive champagne in our fucking hands. People
I'm
are just
doing this.
looking at us. And we are just huffing the cigars, blowing smoke like
Like
and
Daddy
everyone's-
Warbucks.
yeah. Fucking, everybody's looking at us. We're going to fucking Uber, and the Uber guy's like, "You guys have a night?" I'm like, "You'll never gonna believe the story we're about to tell you."
So I get to the hotel, and I know that my plane's already gone. To this day, and I swear on our friendship, I have no idea what I paid for the flight to get back, which was ended up being 30 minutes later
Yeah.
than the flight that I missed, right?
Wait, and you ended up going a completely different direction. I think instead of going like from
I was in
Vegas,
Jackson Hole.
yeah, whatever, you went up to like North Dakota or some shit. And
I
you
went
ended
to
up,
Montana.
yeah, you ended up getting home 30 minutes later than you normally would, and you missed your flight by about 7 hours.
And to this day, I have no idea what I paid for that flight.
I
But
know your
what
wife was mad at you. For
Yeah,
it.
but honestly, would I trade that memory for being on time? First of all,
Never.
who books a flight out of Vegas early in the morning?
Let's not talk about you and your stupid flights.
That was her. That was not me.
Yeah, well, stand on your own 2 feet and just say you're not doing it anymore.
but I ended up having, so I get to Southwest or whatever the fuck it was. I was like, I need to be in Raleigh by like before 5:30.
Dude, that's when your ID expired while we were in Vegas.
Yeah, they didn't check it.
You were fucking scared as fuck. That happened like a day after we were there. You realized it. You're like, what the fuck? You called Tanya. You were trying to expedite a new ID.
Yeah.
And somehow they let you on a plane to
I
go
think
home
I was so hammered.
That wasn't it.
They're like, whatever, dude. Just I think that flight ended up being, God, I don't remember what the cost was. I was like, I need to be in Raleigh
That was
before
under
5:30.
$1,000. It was like $800 or whatever. But you're like,
And it landed at 5:38. So Sarah had to go get the kids and meet and pick me up in the airport with my keys. And she goes, you know what? I'll just I'll drive us out of here because I was fucking still lit.
And I stayed another day, and
Yeah.
I left at 4:00. I checked out of my room, put my bags in the bell dust. We were at the Strat. I went all the way up to whatever the fucking pool bar was. Sat up there drinking Heinekens, checking out the pools, looking at the fucking mountains and all that shit. And then I got my flight at like 8:00 because it was a red eye back to Buffalo.
It was a great trip. You know what's funny is like people that are with us, wives, might be nervous that we're going to go out, flirt, try to pick up chicks. We never do that.
No,
we never
I
do
got
it.
better things to do
Because we're so deplorable to each other.
What happened the second day when we went to Dino's?
Yeah.
We literally talked about our fucking wives and kids, and I even made a joke on Facebook about it, and Krista called me out on it. She goes, "Oh, you guys are back? Make sure you talk about your kids some more." I'm like, I have a 2-month-old son that
What's her name, Madison?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
And it was like I just left my wife at home with an 8-year-old daughter and a 2-month-old son. Like, what the fuck are we thinking? I'm like, I want a trip out here. I'm not saying no to a free trip to Vegas.
Sure.
And we did our best.
We squeezed every inch out of that towel, man.
We did. Yeah.
We wrung that bitch out till it was dry.
Yeah.
And yeah, I got home, I think 22 minutes later than I should have.
Wow. It was within a half hour. I'm like,
crazy.
Dude, you missed your fucking original flight by like 7 hours because we went back to the hotel. You fell asleep.
I know. I should have
just
just
did some shit and you just fell asleep. I even if you went to the airport, I don't think you were getting home any earlier. I think it was just fate that it was like you slept for 4 or 5 hours, went to the airport, and that flight was leaving at no matter what. It's just same thing as I'm running into coming to see you.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm like, I can get to St. Louis at any point, but you're like, I gotta drive 2.5 hours there. You can get to Marion. I'm like, all right. So we looked it up and I'm like, it doesn't matter. There's only one flight from Chicago to Marion and it gets in at 6:50 no matter fucking what.
Sure.
So I'm like, I'm taking a later flight out of Buffalo, so I'm not sitting in the airport for 9 fucking hours.
Deal.
But I'm gonna be 15 minutes away from you, and that's that. But I'm like, that trip to Vegas, like you said, dude. I know people go and they do the high roller and they fucking gamble their dicks off and they do all this great shit. We balled on a budget. We used fucking Groupons to get a fucking all you can drink happy hour at just a regular bar, and there was like no shots. And we next thing you know, we're fucking doing shots because we were so much fun.
Yeah.
And even when we went to the bar to get free beer that from our Groupon, we were tipping the bartenders.
Of course.
And they were loved. They're like, you're not supposed to tip. You got a Groupon. I'm like, fuck off, dude.
Well, I got in trouble for sharing a post with me, you, and the bartender. And I was like, she was like a spiritual lady, even though she was obviously probably a escort.
She's older. I think she might have been a little older than us.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And so I get home and I'm like dead from traveling and from the week. And Tiny's like, why do you have to post this? I'm like, I posted something about Madison too. Like it was never a thing of trying to pick up a girl. It was just like, we meet some amazing fucking people.
Yeah, that took care of us, and we took care of them. And
it was never like
no, it was never like that at all.
She was like, "Oh, there's a pool party upstairs," because she was getting off that shift and going to be a bartender upstairs. At the pool party. She's like, "Do you want to go? It'll be super fun." I'm like, "No, I'm good."
Yeah, because that was a night too that we had a happy hour. Dude, that was so. We showed up drunk. I think we were at Dino's. We showed up drunk with Charlie and all his buddies that had the same group on and shit.
And they were sober.
4 hours of open bar. no shots, no top shelf. Fine. What do you guys got? We're like, fucking whatever it was, Mick Light or Bud Light or whatever light beer it was. We're like, all right, let's go. And
They
we had
quit.
there was like 8 of us, and there was like a dedicated bartender,
Julia.
server. Sure. Julia was the girl's name, lady's name. She was older than us. Her job to get us beers. Smashing beers. Chris and I are hungover, already been drinking.
Aggressive.
And then, yes, aggressive. And then we're open bar for 4 hours.
Well, because we
all got a group on for like $18.
We walked to Denny's in the morning, got our fucking meal, and then a block away from Denny's was Dino's. Oh shit. Yeah, I froze a little bit.
And we drank there all day.
So
you did.
Yeah.
And we're
it's like, oh, we gotta go.
We gotta get you
We have to go to an open bar.
Groupon starts. Yeah. We went down there, and those guys had just got there that day.
Yeah.
They're ready to drink.
Sober's the priest.
So they all had their first drinks. And halfway through the fucking Groupon deal, all you can drink, 2 hours in, they're all like, oh, I gotta go. And we're like, where you guys going? Come to find out, they all went back to the hotel. They were staying at Harris and took naps.
Yeah. No.
You and I we drank the entire time. I mean, she finally brought us shots, which we weren't supposed to have.
We drank. I
come upstairs and
I would say we drank from 9 in the morning till 7:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
That's probably a fair assessment.
Yeah. Yeah. Easily 22 hours, because that was the night of the fuck. We all met at the Rio, and we did shots before we jumped in the elevator.
Yep.
And everyone was like, how are you guys alive? And we were fucking on. We were
in the
ripping.
spirit world, dude.
We were on another level. We were just going, and people were just like, you two should be dead. We're like, we aren't. We're very alive, motherfuckers. Let's go.
Let's smoke cigars and do
your
weed.
friends are pussies. So there's a phenomenal picture that me and Charlie took on top of the Rio. Charlie's got like one eye open. He looks like fucking retarded Popeye. We have that skylight calendar, and I put that picture on it. And Chris goes, why? And I'm like, look at fucking Charlie. I go, it's me in a fucking dress shirt, smiling, both eyes open. Chris, eyes slanted as fuck, absolutely hammered, and Charlie with one eye open. And there I go, look at Chris. He looks like fucking retarded as lead. I go, this is a phenomenal picture. I love it so much.
With my plane taking off in the background, probably.
That was 2 hours later.
Yeah.
But like I said, man, you and I it's a marathon, man. If we're in, we're in. Duration. I'm in.
Yeah. When it hits, though, it's when it hits, and you have a good time. Trash Pandas.
I was hoping you weren't gonna say that because fuck, I got a fan.
I can go to bed.
What time is it?
It's 11.
It's 11:30.
Yeah, dude.
Is that right?
Yeah.
All right, dude. Yeah, I got time for one
Trash Pandas, bro. All right, we'll come back with Trash Pandas.
I was worried about it because of the heat, but I have a fan.
Trash Panda Express.
$10, 10 minutes.